Hennythemoor, reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing this fine Sunday morning, man? If you ain't at church, right, you can come over here, break bread with us over here at the liquor store, man. We can have communion. We can chop it up by these damn Cowboys and some of these head scratching decisions that they make. And listen, I'm a guy who's been very high on them this offseason so far. They've made a lot of good moves. They signed a lot of key players back. They made a couple of trades that instantly improved our overall team. But this one move that they did not make and that they could have made is really bothering me. I know that I said that we were off of free agency and we were focused on the draft, but this been bothering me too much for me not to speak on this. And this was the Dallas Cowboys refusing to sign Bobby Wagner. So come on in, get your little wafer cookie, whatever it is. Get your communion wine. We're gonna sit down here and have communion real quick, man. It's Sunday morning. Let's talk about them Cowboys, man. Joshua Fisher, what's up with you, man? Yeah, man. Before I get too far ahead of myself, as I usually do, please, on your way in, hit the like button, hit the share button. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now, we're sitting at 640. So God is good. We're being blessed. The channel is growing. All is right in the world. Which I still need your support. Continue to share, continue to subscribe, tell a friend, put it on your favorite platform. And also, as you know, we are going to the draft next month. If you want to donate anything for that cause, the cash app is $Hennythemoor. He said, damn, I should have tapped in with you on live next weekend, though, if you can. Oh, hell yeah, JC, we definitely can do something next weekend, man. It's all love. Just let me know your schedule. We'll work something out. We definitely can work something out. But yeah, man, so let's just jump right into it, man. So, as everybody did see, Bobby Wagner went home. He signed a 1-year, $7 million deal with the Seattle Seahawks to play as their starting middle linebacker. First and foremost, I'm going to say this. I've been sitting on here week after week preaching about how Bobby Wagner would not be an expensive signing. Bobby Wagner wants to go to someplace where he can contend. He does not want to play for a lot of money. He's made all the money in the world up to this point in his career. So, with that said, I figured he would play for $10 million or less. That's the same number I was throwing out because he was already playing for $10 million a year at his last stop. When he signed that 5-year deal with the Los Angeles Rams, it was only for 5 years, $50 million, APY of $10 million a year. So, I knew just based on that tidbit of information, it would not take a lot of money to sign Bobby Wagner. But the fact that you could have signed Bobby Wagner for so cheap. You could have signed him for a 1-year, $7 million deal and got it done. Right? We can't let the front office slide for that. And when we're comparing him to what we have, he is an obvious upgrade at the linebacker position. Let's see. Oh, well, we'll still be good on defense. But yes, we got to pray that we still are good on defense because it doesn't happen now. But what we're not going to do, there's a contingency of fans that were saying that we were better off with Leighton Vander, and there's nothing that actually backs that up. I'm the numbers guy. When we talk numbers, I'm gonna be straight and precise about all that shit. So there was some truth to it. I would say that, but you had somebody that was an obvious upgrade at a position of need sitting there on the open market, and you sat on your hands. He said, GM Henny, what's up with your sugar daddy one? I see you, kinfolk. Yeah, man. So they sat out there, settled their hands, and let this man sign with Seattle. So we're gonna break down the numbers. We're gonna compare what Bobby Wagner did compared to what Leighton Vander did, right? And then y'all are gonna see, just like I see, there was no question about who should have got a contract. I would have took 2 years of Bobby Wagner over 2 years of Leighton Vander. And I'm pretty sure after I show y'all the little breakdown, show y'all the numbers, you will agree with me as well. So bear with me as I get everything pulled up. We can go right into it, man. Said Coles Banks definitely would have took B-Wag over LVE. Yep. Serving drinks this early. That signing would have been it for us, man. Definitely. Yeah, that shocked me with the $7 million deal he signed. It didn't really shock me. It didn't really shock me because last years he's been playing for just $10 million a year. Matter of fact, you actually look at his actual cap hit, JC, his actual cap hit was like $6 million last year. So he played on a backloaded deal and really wasn't that much against the salary cap. But let me get this pulled up so I can show y'all, man. Bear with me 1 second. Let's start with the guy that got away. I'm finna pull up the profile for Bobby Wagner. All right, you should be able to see my screen now. You should have it pulled up in front of you. So, last year, Bobby Wagner, 2022 season, had 89 solo tackles, was 20th in the league, 44 assists, which was third in the league. He had 2 interceptions. Right, they ranked out good because he's a damn linebacker. Overall, he graded out as a 90.7 overall as a player. As a run defender, which is where we actually struggled at, he graded out as a 91.1. Pass rusher graded out as a 79.6, so he was basically a B as a pass rusher. And then he's a linebacker. I don't care about his coverage grade, but for the sake of arguments of a guy having to be a complete linebacker in some of these fans' eyes, he was actually a very good coverage linebacker, 77.9. So he graded out good all across the board and every damn thing that he did. Michael Lockhart, what's up with you, man? I see you, my boy. Eastside Hero, what's up with you, my boy? Said Tommy Montoya, pray LVE balls out. So now we need a good middle linebacker to help with stopping the run. But that's the point, man. Like, you had the best middle linebacker available. He said, listen, Henny Wagner has been rated a number 1 linebacker since 2019, regardless of what D-line he played with. And Donald missed 8 games. Yeah, Aaron Donald didn't even play a lot last year, and he was still out there putting in work. We see Coach Mar, man, you're on the same page with this one, man. There's not really much we can even argue about. So listen, he only had 4 missed tackles the entire season. He had 6 sacks, had 50 stops. He made 50 plays where he won against the damn defense. He had 50 stops, man. Come on, he won against the offense 50 times. Let's go even further. Let's go deeper down the rabbit hole. Follow me down the rabbit hole. Look at this. Played over 1,000 snaps, 1,079 snaps last year, and still graded out like this. 91 as a run defender, 91 as a tackler. Come on now. Over 100 total tackles, man. Only allowed 1 touchdown in coverage. So you see how good Bobby Wagner graded out, right, and everything. So we ain't gotta talk about if he was washed up, if he was underperforming. Like, y'all seen with y'all own eyes that Bobby Wagner was playing his ass off, right? So let's go over here to the guy who we actually did sign. You see the difference? You see the difference already, don't you? Not a lot of green. He had 61 solo tackles, Bobby Hagmore. 26 assists, Bobby Hagmore. No interceptions, Bobby Hagmore. Look at his overall play. He was graded out as a 70.8, while Bobby Wagner graded out in the 90s. As a run defender, he graded out as a 61.7. So Bobby was 30 points better than him as a run defender, because Bobby Wagner was a 91. Pass rusher, he graded out worse. Even in coverage, what was his best strength? His best strength was as being a coverage linebacker with a 75.6, and Bobby Wagner was better because he had a 77. So you can't sit here and tell me that you couldn't have upgraded this position. You did not even have to sign, you did not even have to sign this man. Yeah, like the face value stats speak for them damn selves, man. This is not me pushing an agenda. This is not me being, salty. It's just the truth. The truth of the matter is Bobby Wagner is a far superior player than Leighton Vander is. And if Bobby Wagner was 50 years old, he'd still probably be a better linebacker than Leighton Vander is. This man is going to listen. This man is going to be a future Hall of Famer, and Leighton Vander is Leighton Vander is. He said, "I'm working on the Brandon Cooks breakdown now, HTM. Bet that. Hey, mama, you drop it, I'm gonna come over and check it out, my boy." Henny, when Quinn said LVE has gotten better in tackling this year, is this what you say for a 7-year player? No. What's up with you, Marcel? Yeah, man. Listen, Leighton Vander has been with the Cowboys for a long time at this point. He's been with the Cowboys a long time. This is going to be his 6th season, right? This is going to be his 6th season because he came in 2018. He got drafted in 2018, had his sole all-pro selection as a rookie, never made it back to that level of play, has been injured, has been inconsistent in his play. Eastside Hero, you are a hater, but you still my guy though. There's plenty to see with Brandon Cooks. You just didn't have a quarterback to get anything out of him. Don't worry about it. We'll show you what to do with him. Don't worry about it. So yeah, man, everything that you could think of, he graded out better overall than Leighton Vander is. He was a better run defender than Leighton Vander is. He was a better pass rusher than Leighton Vander is. He was a better coverage guy than Leighton Vander is. And even if you don't agree with the grades, the fact that he had more tackles, right? He had more tackles, less missed tackles, right? More sacks and more interceptions, right? That sort of checks out. Even if you don't agree with how they use their grading scales, if you look at the other numbers, they actually back up the grades this time around when you're comparing these two players. So no, they made a horrible mistake. I agree with you, Henny, but the Joneses know how to disappoint, but at least they got some help on defense with Gilmore. Yeah, like listen, I'm happy with the Gilmore trade. I'm happy with the Brandon Cooks trade. I was elated that they were able to keep Donovan Wilson. I like that they retained Dante Fowler, and they even surprised me when they were able to retain the services of Tack McKinley. So like they made some moves that I agree with, man. They made some moves that I agree with. I just don't agree with. So basically, what they're doing at linebacker right now, right? Because they didn't go out there and get him. They chose Leighton Vander and unproven linebackers over him. Damon Clark, he flashed, but he did not have like top level consistent play throughout the course of the season. We can all agree on that. So you're asking a bunch of linebackers, who have not really done a lot of National Football League, to hold it down for you. And, it might be a moot point because we all seen that Dan Quinn likes to play the big nickel. He likes to keep J-Run Curse in as a hybrid linebacker. He likes to do the same with Donovan Wilson. You will see a lot of three safety sets on the field because he likes to play that hybrid defense. So the Joneses might have did it for a scheme fit purpose, right? Let's for the sake of argument say that they wanted to keep Leighton Vander and they know that Dan Quinn is not going to play a lot of linebackers anyway. So I really don't even understand it then because you can still upgrade over if you're only going to have one linebacker out there, it needs to be Bobby Wagner. So this really even scheme fit wise, I don't understand this move. But it is what it is at this point, man. Like they made their mistakes. Hey, what's up with you, Desmond Ironman? I appreciate you tapping in with me, boy. Yeah, man, they did what they did, and we just gotta live with it now. But the sad part about it, he said Dalton Schultz had better year stats wise compared to Cooks last season. Actually, no, because Dalton Schultz had less yards. Dalton Schultz had less yards than him, and we also know that I'm talking to you right now. Clark will be a star if Livy don't get in the way of his playing time. You see, I don't even think they should be playing the same position. When Leighton Vander actually was playing well, when he made his All Pro selection, when he did this, that, and the third, he was playing weak side linebacker. He was a weak side linebacker when he made his All Pro selection. Get used to zero yak with Schultz. I wouldn't go that far. I say the Schultz is not going to get you a lot of yaks, but he was the guy that was going down the seams. So you seen like in the game against the Las Vegas Raiders, Dak hit Schultz for a 30-yard touchdown down the seam. Like he was the tight end that Dak felt comfortable taking those seam shots to. So I think that Schultz has some great athletic ability. I don't think it was really highlighted with all these option routes, with all these sit down routes in the middle of defenses. So yeah, I got respect for Damon Clark too, but I treat him like I treat every other young dude. Yeah, I think he said of the year that might have been his longest touchdown of his career. To be honest with you, but I'm just speaking in general. Like Dalton Schultz made some plays for us. Just because he left, I'm not going to slander the man. Because I still wanted him. I was part of the minority that thought that we should have kept Dalton Schultz. Especially now that we know that we're not making any other moves, right? Because you do know the Dallas Cowboys have like $13 million in cap space, and then they get another $10 million June the 2nd, once the Zeke contract settles. So the Dallas Cowboys really got about $23 million in cap space they can work with. So, if they wanted to sign Dalton Schultz, they could have. And if they're able to rescind that franchise tag on Tony Pollard and work out a long year deal, then they'll probably save about $5-6 million against the cap this year on that deal as well. So, the Dallas Cowboys got plenty of money. I only talk about, penny pinching, letting good players walk when you ain't got the money to pay them. Where in this scenario, the Dallas Cowboys have money, and they have also not, went out there and got any top level, free agents. Yeah, they made some trades, but they gave up next to nothing to get those guys, and they also had pretty decent, cap hits because they were able to rework Brandon Cook's deal. Right, they were able to bring in Stephon Gilmore. He costs under $10 million. So like they made some very savvy moves in regards to that. So yeah, they got money. They got the ability to upgrade the roster. They could have kept whoever they wanted to keep. They just did not do it. They could have signed whoever they wanted to sign. And listen, I'm sad that we didn't get Bobby Wagner, but we're gonna have to. I think I'm a moderator on 3 Dallas Cowboys YouTube channels, Sugar Daddy 1. Meetings. Matter of fact, Jameson Taylor, why you ain't got a wrench over here? Hold on. Yeah, you're a moderator over here too now. So welcome to the wrench game, Jameson. So the Texans looking at Will Levi. Man, like Texans don't need to draft the Will Levi. I think Will Levi might be the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the draft. The Texans are drafting like number 2 overall. I don't see it with Will Levi, man. Texans fans don't get wrenches. They get wrenched up. They get hit with the tool. We don't hand tools out to Texan fans. I still love you though. You still my boy. Jameson, what's up, GM, bro? Already. Yeah, man. Yo, what's up with your landlord? Appreciate you tapping in with me, my boy. Hey, landlord, you want to slide in here real quick, man? You want to slide over here to the liquor store, have communion with us, man? Matter of fact, I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just going to shoot you the link. If you tap in, you tap in. Don't even worry about it. I'm not even asking. I'm just going to shoot you the link. right. I sent you the link in your inbox, landlord. You want to jump on? All right, you welcome anytime, my guy. Swain, what's good at the liquor store? Oh, okay, yeah, man. Nothing, just chopping it up, man. Oh, it's all love, landlord. What you think about Miles Jack? I like Miles Jack, but let's take a look at his production. Let's see. Let's pull up old Miles Jack, see what he did this season. Because I know he played for the Steelers last season. So let's take a look at Miles Jack. Now, looking at the numbers at face value, he graded out worse than Leighton Vander did. Not gonna lie to you. So let's take a look. He had 80 solo tackles, 31 assists, no interceptions, no forced fumbles. Rated out as a 53.6 overall, 52.1 run defender, 63.7 pass rusher, 55.8 coverage grade. He did have 28 stops, which is cool, but he also had 9 missed tackles, which is more than even Leighton Vander is. And he also allowed 3 touchdowns in coverage. It'll be a hard no for me. Oh, Miles Jack. Because why I do not like Leighton Vander is, I will not sit here and say that somebody that had a worse season should come in and play for us. No, just based off the simple fact that he had a worse season than LVE, he can stay far the hell away from me. Yeah, Coach Moore, no on Miles. Just looking at the face value numbers, like he ain't worth it. Yeah, you can't bring that boy in. Yeah, JC. Like, listen, we already got enough problems at home. We can't be adding more issues. We can't be adding any more issues to the Cowboys, man. Resign Hankins and bring in another quality, cheap free agent defensive tackle. I can dig it. Hankins only will cost about $1 million. And then, you still got people like Sean Robinson sitting out there who probably will be affordable. Really, we're talking about defensive tackles. If they want to make another splash play, I want them to, trade away something for DeForest Buckner. He's only 29 years old. He brings, a pass rushing element to his game, and he is still a very good run stopper. Really, man, like bringing Calais Campbell. If you just want to go cheap across the board, you could bring in you could bring in Hankins and bring in Calais Campbell to add some size and some run defense presence to the interior of your defense. So yeah, so that's probably what I would do. We're being cheap about it. Oh, matter of fact, I wasn't even sharing my screen with you on Miles Jack. My bad, y'all. Yeah, man. Nah, Miles Jack wasn't on nothing. See, 80 tackles, 31 assists. Look at these grades. Overall, not good. Run defense worse than LVE. Pass rush worse. Coverage was worse. Missed more tackles than LVE. Higher passer rating when targeted than LVE. So the goal is not to get rid of anybody. The goal is to get better at the position. What's up, Stephen White? Appreciate you tapping in with my boy. Yeah, so I wouldn't bring in just anybody just to say that I got rid of Leighton Vander. I have to actually bring in somebody that's better. And just on at face value, because I ain't got time to to make my own grading system, but just based on their grading system at face value, he is not better than Leighton Vander, so he should not even be considered. It's probably the reason why Pittsburgh actually let him go. And the biggest problem with LVE is at 6'4", he is soft. Face it, physical play is what we say we want LVE to do, not a fit. Yeah, I believe that Leighton Vander is, and I want you to understand this. Once you have multiple neck injuries, man, you know, I do understand why he's not putting his nose, in other people's business, so to speak. With that said, though, you might have to. He said, "I'm making all y'all moderators that continue to grow. I'm stopping it soon. The real world's on the side for sure. Already, my boy. Yeah, man. Alicorn will show up. Man, listen. I'm gonna say this, Mike. We were talking to Tony Casillas the other day. Hey, what's up with you, Regina Green? I appreciate you stopping by. We were talking to Tony Casillas the other day, and he thought that was a horrible idea. He thought that was a horrible idea, moving that boy from tackle to defensive tackle. So I'm not no expert. I'm just going to relegate that to the two-time Super Bowl champion, one-time NCAA champion. He said that was a bad idea when he came over here and did the show with me, West Coast and Landlord. So I'm just going to back the defensive tackle that played in the league. If he thinks it's a bad idea, I sure got to rock with him on it. I'm not even going to question it. So yeah, I don't think that Alicorn is going to give us enough. There's no even guarantee he can even play defensive tackle. You can line him up out there, but it doesn't mean that he'll be effective. So yeah, so listen, since we did that, let's just pivot. Let's just see if there's any other linebacker on the open market that can come in here and be productive for us. Because we did drag our feet. Bobby Wagner got signed. The Morrow kid we were looking at that played last year in Chicago, he actually signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm not really sure there's a lot of linebackers left. So let's just take a look real quick. Quick look. Landlord, hey Regina. All right. Yeah, let's take a look, man. Just gotta see what we can find. And this is why I don't like waiting, because this is gonna be like week 3 of free agency, right? Week 1 was cool, we can be excited about it. Week 2 was slowed down. Definitely ain't gonna find too many like amazing players in week 3. Hey, appreciate your Landlord for the love, man. I see that you just shared it on Twitter. That's my boy right there, man. That's my content brother. So let's see. Let's see if we can find some free agents to come in and help us at the linebacker position. I know y'all ain't happy about Bobby Wagner signing. I'm not happy either. So let me peep it out. See, there's a solution somewhere in the midst of this bullshit. All right, linebacker update. Okay. Send these guys to the draft by hitting the like and share button. Facts. Yes. Hey, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up. We are going to the draft next month. I already done took the days off from work. I already done found my transportation. So, it's up. It's going down. So, if you want to donate to help get me there to the draft, if you look at the bottom left corner right here, it says Hennythemoor, $Hennythemoor for donations. So hit the Cash App. Anything that you seeing will be used for that purpose and will be greatly appreciated. Well, back to the content. Because I think I got what I need pulled up. Boom. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. You should see a list of names. These are all of the available free agent linebackers. Beautiful thing about this, if they're outside linebackers, they have them marked as outside linebackers. If they're interior linebackers, they usually have the ILB or they just have LB on. So when you look around here, you see there Kyle Van Noy is a name that you might know. He played with Tom Brady in the New England Patriots. Quan Alexander is a name you might know. Dion Jones is a name I saw in the chat that y'all spoke on. Let's start with Dion Jones. So last year, The 2022 season, Dion Jones cap hit was only $1.2 million. Right, that was his total cap hit for the season. Had a base salary of $823,000, roster bonus of $470,000, totaled out to about $1.2 million worth of money. So if we're talking about affordability, he has affordability. Now let's see if he has playmaking ability. So let's take a look at Dion Jones on PFF, and let's see how he graded out. Former second round pick, stands at 6'1", 227 pounds. Is actually from the same draft class as Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. And I automatically looked here at the one thing that I care about, and he can't do it. If you believe this, 39 as a run defender. And when I'm looking at linebacker play, the same thing I'm looking for is what I'm looking for in defensive tackle. If you are a good run stopper, I need you to come on down. But right now, looking at this, Dion Jones is not that. Ranked out as a 39 in run defense. He had 7 missed tackles. Right? He had 7 missed tackles. He only had 29 overall tackles, 11 assists. He had an interception. Pretty decent pass rush grade. He had 3 sacks. But we got pass rushers. You got Michael Parsons. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Armstrong. You brought back Donovan Wilson, who had 5 sacks at the safety position. Like you got all of the pass rushers you need. Hell, even Osei gave you 3 sacks last year. You don't need another guy that can sack the quarterback. You need somebody that's good in run fit, good in run support, can fill the gap, is a sure tackler. And right now, this does not look to be what Dion Jones is. Now, of course, it's just a grading system without film to back it right now. We're not going to sit here and do a film study because I don't have anything prepared. But we're just going to take this at face value. It said he wasn't a very good run defender. He missed 7 tackles, so you can't really be out there stopping the run if you're missing tackles. He only had 16 stops on the season. So, that says a lot. That actually says a lot. So, moving on, we're going to move on to a different person. Henny, we missed our shot at top linebacker. We must hit the draft well. I agree with that. I try to share our content on the Cowboy. Then in the midst of Philly fans, LOL, I share, they send it back. I'll forget them. Send it to them anyway. Use a 6 to get up to 22. Partaker traded back for position of other picks. I really would rather us trade our picks like what the Dallas Cowboys did, to acquire Stephon Gilmore and to acquire Brandon Cooks is what I would rather us do with most of our picks. The reason being is because we need players that can come in and produce right now. Like the moment they get off the bus, like they need to be able to contribute to us winning our 6th ring. You're not going to get a lot of those in the draft. Like even if you get a first round pick, even your first round pick may not be able to come in and be a key contributor the first year that he gets into the building. So I actually would rather us trade our picks for players, like for veteran players, than to get more draft picks and get more kids. Because the majority of the guys we draft, don't necessarily pan out. We used a 2nd overall pick to get Kelvin Joseph, and that was a complete failure. He is a special teams ace. We used a top 100 pick to get Jalen Tolbert, and he did absolutely nothing his rookie year. Not saying that he won't do something this year because I believe in him, but it's just the fact that we're trying to win a Super Bowl right now, and we need some guys that can come in and do that off the dribble. So no, I wouldn't do that. So let's go back. Let's take a look at some more of these free agent linebackers. I'm out on Dion Jones because he did not have good run grade. Okay. Let's take a look at somebody that's already played for us. What about a reunion with Damian Wilson? Hold on, did Kim Folk sign somewhere already? It said 2023. Let me see something real quick. I could have sworn that Damian Wilson was a free agent. Let me take a look. Nah, he's currently a free agent. Okay. So that's cool. So he is a free agent. So let's just go ahead and pull up his PFF. It's so hard to find a good run stopping linebacker. Everybody I'm looking at grading now is 55s or lower. Like none of these guys have real good run grades right now. Really getting discouraged looking at this. Odds are, man. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. Odds are the Cowboys ain't gonna bring in another linebacker. Just based on what I'm looking at right now, man, it looks like, you know, some of the guys that we have, yeah, look like Damian Wilson is more of a cover linebacker. I can see that it's just by his grades. Yeah, odds are they just gonna rock with the guys that they currently have on the roster. So, you know, at this point, with that being said, they do like Dan Quinn did and convert Tweener. Denzel Perryman, let me guess, he signed with the Texans. Yeah, Keystone, I agree with you. Cuz said it should be a fill in the blank draft. I agree with you. It definitely should be something because we have some serious holes in our defense. And listen, more so at defensive tackle, I think we have some things we can get away with and cover up. You know, at linebacker because of how Dan Quinn plays big nickel. So, you know, it is what it is, but they are dead set on dying on the LVE hill. I certainly agree. Like, yeah, they like their guys. I hate that, but you know, it is what it is at this point. Well, listen, if we cannot upgrade at defensive at linebacker, then, you know, maybe we will be able to upgrade at defensive tackle. So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll take a look at some defensive tackles real quick before I get on out of here. Is Atlanta Dog, middle linebacker in the draft, is a must though. I told y'all this is not a meat and potatoes draft. This is a size draft. Just get some mashed potatoes and some gravy. I said that's a projection, Samuel. I hope that he does it. I pray that he does it. But we need him. All right, let's take a look at these available defensive tackles real quick. And then we'll jump on some other. Okay. So real quick, share this again. We really need outside more than inside linebacker. I don't necessarily agree with that, man, because I don't need Leighton Vander playing middle linebacker for me this season, bro. I don't. And then when you're playing middle linebacker, it's not that Damon Clark does not have the physical traits. He has the physical traits. But, it's just a cerebral position. They're going to be the one, that needs to get the defense lined up. They need to make the audibles when J-Ron Curse is not on the field. Like, it's going to be a very cerebral position. I'm not saying he's stupid or dumb. So, I'm guessing, what it's a wait and see thing for me. It was Parsons that wanted LVE back. He might have a relationship with the boy. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so we have the defensive tackles pulled up. We have some names that you might be familiar with, like Jonathan Hankins. We have Linval Joseph and Dominican Sue. Shelby Harris. Maurice Hurst. So there's still some names in free agency. But I don't know there's really that much production left. Let me show you. So let's take a look at our guy, Jonathan Hankins. And this is going to be what throws you off. You may or may not have been on here when I looked at his individual grades the last time. Parsons is T-bone steak. Parsons is Gilmore, the shrimp. The rest of the guys, greens. Hankins is a big piece of chicken. You should call and wake up West Coast on live with us. Yeah, it's about 8:32 where he at in the world, man. So I try to let him make it in the morning. So let me show you. Like, this threw me off the first time I looked at Jonathan Hankins stuff, man. Do you see anything that surprises you about his overall grades? I'm talking to the chat at this point. But we were a full yard better with him on the field, just about. It was like 0.8 something. We're almost a damn yard better with him on the field. But individually, he didn't grade out good against anything, did he? So how do y'all feel about that? We have the ability to use safeties. Said Hankins was signed probably on draft day. Bland is the cranberry sauce. Yeah, man. So, I think that's hey, shout out to JT for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you for the love and support, my guy. But yeah, I think, even though Jonathan Hankins did some good things for the overall stability of the middle of the defense, I do believe that he himself is an upgradable position. Because theoretically, if he was this bad individually, but we improved so much, just with him being a big body in the middle, theoretically, if we added somebody that graded out better than Jonathan Hankins, you should see an even bigger jump in the overall performance of the defense as a whole. Theoretically, of course, but it stands to reason that such a thing is possible, because he graded out as a 46. Even if you added somebody in the middle over Hankins that graded out as a 65 and was a better run defender, then I think it would pay dividends for the overall defense. We need a whole chicken in the middle. I know that's right, Kenfo. We need a whole chicken and a turkey. Make sure they stuffed. Let's take a look. Let's try Shelby Harris. See what he looks like. Hold on now. We might be on to something. No, Shelby Harris graded out good against the run. He graded out as a 76.9. He graded out as a 73.2 overall. Even though he was only a 60.7 as a pass rusher, he still had 2 sacks, 23 hurries, and 3 quarterback hits. He also had 28 pressures. Okay, Shelby. Shelby played over 500 snaps. And he's a free agent right now. So I think I like what I see just on face value from Shelby Harris. Yeah, Shelby Harris seems like a nice little addition to this team. All right, let me go look at what his money would look like if we wanted to sign Shelby Harris. Oops. All right, so his last stop, he had signed a 3-year, $27 million deal, about $9 million annually, but he just got cut. So Shelby Harris did get cut. He's 31 years old. Former 7th round pick. All right, so he played 528 snaps last year. Had 44 total tackles. Get Mozzie and Icky. He was playing for Denver. He got traded during the Russell Wilson trade. So like he was with Denver. He got traded to Seattle last year. We have been shopping in the for $20 section at the grocery store. We need meat by the pound. Yeah, I agree with you. And listen, at this point in free agency, you know that this is what you're doing. You are bargain shopping at this point. Like they done hit the stove. They got the steak. They got the slab of ribs. You know they got everything. You know that's enticing. So now when you hit the store right now, you might find some canned goods. You might find you some some pork chops that are a couple days from expiring, so they don't sell. You know, things like that. But you know, that doesn't mean you won't find any value there, especially at positions like defensive tackle. Like really at defensive tackle, if you can't rush the passer, you really don't get paid a lot of money. And then the moment that you get into your 30s, even if you're productive, you know, like it sort of devalues you to a team. So yes, Harris is a decent fit. He's a decent fit. He said we need that rump roast. Yeah, and listen, rump roast can still feed the entire family. Keno Henny. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, Shelby Harris is a decent acquisition that we were able to get him. He grades out good where he needs to grade out good at. He was like a 76 run defender. So that's really all that matters. But yo, I do have some stuff to do this morning. I just wanted to jump. Give you an edition of early morning coffee. Just want to chop it up with y'all, get it off my chest. Now we really are only going to focus on the draft, because honestly, I don't think there's too many good free agents that we can sign anymore. They might surprise me, but everybody, please, on the way out, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to donate to us going to the draft next month, hit $ Hennythemoor at Cash App for donations. And remember, drink and drive responsibly. But if you see an Eagles fan in the road, you have my permission to run their ass over. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Hennythemoor, and I'm out.